Hi, and welcome back. So, I like to take my holidays one at a time, and my eyes were open just a few weeks ago, probably on November 1st. I have a prayer journal, and I figured that would be the best place to document all these things that have happened because honestly, these were prayers that I never prayed, but they were answered anyway. Okay, let me back up. My house needed to be listed by July 1st, and there was still a lot of cleaning and decluttering preparing to do. I mean, some rooms were still really cluttered and messy. Plus, my daughter had a friend, and she wanted her to stay with us for a while to help her out until she found her new place. But will she find it in time to move out before I have to list the house? Anyway, check out this timeline. I can only say this is just one miracle after another. And it's all God. I give him all the praise and all the glory and all the credit. Against all odds, my house got cleaned up in time and got listed on har.com. I got an offer on the house, and we set the closing for September 18th. Plus, I would be given an extra week to get everything moved out of the house. I sold the Trans Am. That's a huge miracle. I kept letting it sit because I meant to call this mechanic who a friend recommended, and I just kept forgetting, and there just wasn't time. Every time I thought there was time, something else would pop up. So anyway, a neighbor from across the street told me that he was eyeing that Trans Am for a long time, and he offered to buy it from me as is for a lesser price than what I would originally ask, but that's okay because at least I don't have to repair it now. I met that neighbor at the tax assessor's office. We were hoping to transfer the title from my ex to me and then from me to him all in one meeting. Nope, but that's okay. We at least got it transferred to me. Closing, part one. To put a wrinkle in things, the buyer decided to take a trip out of town that week. So I still signed my side of the papers, and he would sign the next week, which would actually give me another extra week to get everything moved out. So I viewed that as a blessing in disguise. I got rid of the basketball goal. Another neighbor who lived next door decided he wanted it, and he just easily rolled it away. Another burden lifted. Moving day, and a friend came by to buy an amp from me for a little bit of cash, which always helps. A friend from church came by to help me get a lot of boxes into storage. It's always good to have friends with big trucks. I happened to see my mail carrier, and then he got all my mail out of my box, and he showed me which box it was. And an important piece of mail just happened to come in that very day. It was the updated title to the Trans Am. Well, this was a little bit of a snafu, but that's okay. I just want to record it. On this day, I learned that my key that I was left did not fit my mailbox. So I hightailed it to the post office to see about the right key, and it turned out I just had to order a replacement key. And guess what? That takes at least a month to get processed and for me to pick it up. On this day, I finally got a lot more boxes in storage. Plus, I labeled the storage unit keys to show my ex which key goes to which unit. Drop that off at with the mutual friend, and then boom, my car started acting really weird, kind of lurching, I didn't know what it was. I mean, I thought it was a transmission. So I limped over to one of those auto retailer places, and it said something about a misfire. On this day, I finally saw that mechanic I was trying to see when it was the Trans Am. Anyway, he was astonished to see that my Toyota Corolla 2015 with over 200,000 miles still had its original spark plugs and ignition coils. And that's what was wrong. One of them was going bad already, and the mechanic said when one goes bad, the others will follow suit pretty quick. So I opted to get them all replaced. True, that was an expensive bill, but hey, credit cards. Also on this day, I got a package from my sister. She loves quilting, and she made me a quilt. And timing couldn't be more perfect because I really didn't have a bedspread or anything. I was just sleeping with a fleece blanket or two, and that was it. So I happily put it on my bed, and here it is. Mail Key Saga. the conclusion. Less than 2 weeks after I requested the new key, it came in. I mean, that's awesome. I'm very grateful that it didn't take a full month or even longer. Even better, I had to pay $50 for this replacement key, and when I told my realtor about it, he decided to give me a credit towards the next month's rent, which I found very nice. I got 2 checks in the mail. One was a refund of the escrow account, and the other was a refund for the homeowner's insurance. Unfortunately, they were made out to, one was made out to only the ex, and the other was made out to both me and the ex. So I was going to see about doing a mobile deposit, and I went to the bank to ask how to do it to where it'll work. And the teller was really nice and said, just bring them here, we'll deposit them. And so I am very grateful. That just made things a lot easier. I believe God opened my eyes to all these things that just happened to fall into place in time for Thanksgiving month. We should be thankful every day, no matter what month it is. Thing is, I didn't really pray to God for anything or any specific thing. A lot of times I would just kind of cry in my pillow and say, God, I need you. I need your help. I need you. I need your help. That has been like the bulk of my prayers over the last year. And to think, I used to not have any faith in God. It just seemed like he wasn't answering my prayers, or he was just ignoring me. Thing is, it was most likely me just praying selfishly, or just thinking he wasn't answering prayers or helping me out, because honestly, I think what I was praying for was not really in my best interest. It's always good to unload to God and tell him everything, tell him your feelings. Yes, of course he knows, but it's just good to unload and just get everything out. But when it comes to asking for his help, don't micromanage him. Just throw it all, just imagine everything, roll it up in a big ball, throw it in his court and say, God, I'm giving this to you. I'll let you handle it. I need sleep. And guess what? He'll handle it. Take care, read often, pray more, and I'll talk to you again soon.